Good morning, everyone. I'm Helman Kaba, proud mayor of the city of Perth Amboy, and welcome to our beautiful city of Perth Amboy. Welcome to the groundbreaking event of our historic train station. Finally, right? Finally. First and foremost, I want to acknowledge several dignitaries and distinguished guests that are here with us today. Our Governor, Phil Murphy. You're welcome. Our Assembly Speaker, Craig Coughlin. Assemblywoman, Yvonne Lopez. Senator Diamond. New Jersey Transit President Kevin Corbett, former Mayor Wilda Diaz, Middlesex County Commissioner Director Ron Rios, County Commissioner Charles Kenny, our Perth Amboy City Council members, Council President Bill Petrick, Councilwoman Rose B. Morales, Councilman Joel Pabon, Councilwoman Milady Tejeda, and Councilman Bienvenido B.J. Torres. Also, I see several Board of Ed members, Perth Amboy Board of Ed members. I saw the board president, Kenny Puccio, Vice President Tashi Vasquez, Member Junior Iglesias, and Member Stacy Peralta. Hope I didn't leave anyone behind. We also have, from the labor trade, Kevin Duncan. He's the Middlesex County Buildings President. Also, Jerome Johnson, local chair and president of Smart TD. And also our Bishop Hillard. Thank you all for being here. Today is a special day. We can all agree on that. Today, we break ground together, marking a milestone in Perth Amboy's history on the renovation to our historic Perth Amboy train station built in 1927. And this day has been talked about for many, many years, and we're finally here.
Some of my relatives.
Yes, I was just about to say that. The upgrades will make this station fully accessible with high-level platforms, elevators, and ramps, in addition to many, many upgrades. I want to thank our Governor Phil Murphy, our legislators, New Jersey Transit, and previous administrations for their advocacy and commitment to making this day possible. As we all know, Perth Amboy is a vital transportation hub connecting New York to our New Jersey shore beaches. This much-needed project aligns itself with our great state's commitment to our residents in improving accessibility and enhancing the experience of our commuters. We are proud to be part of Middlesex County, which is leading opportunities to serve and connect residents with the tools needed to lead healthy and prosperous lives. The renovation plan will enhance public safety with our commuter trips while preserving its historic architectural style. The planning and development of this project would not have been possible without the tenacious efforts between the local and state legislative officials and New Jersey Transit. Thank you once again to our state officials for the collaboration and unwavering commitment to ensuring the funding for this project was made possible. These renovations represent our city's path to smart infrastructure growth. the smart growth infrastructure that will ensure our social and economic growth, reinforce our transportation network, and connect our communities while promoting sustainable mobility and a better quality of life for all of our residents and commuters alike. Once again, I want to thank each and every one of you for attending this special moment here today, a special day. And now it's my pleasure and great honor to introduce and present our governor, Phil Murphy.
Go get him. Appreciate it. Can I give this to you? Ma'am? Thank you all. Hellman, thank you. It is a treat to be back in Perth Amboy, and thank you, Hellman, to you and members of council, to your predecessor, Wilda, to the members of the Board of Education. Perth Amboy is one of those communities that is a quintessential community in the state, and it's on that list. As Perth Amboy goes, so goes the great state of New Jersey. It's a pleasure as well to be here alongside not just you, Hellman, and your colleagues, but NJ Transit President and CEO Kevin Corbett. We're here to break ground of a long overdue modernization of the Perth Amboy train station. I'm incredibly honored in a few minutes to be putting shovels in the ground alongside Speaker Craig Coughlin, in whose district we are. And Craig and I have already been together once already this morning, and it's the day's off to a great start. To his right, Assemblywoman Yvonne Lopez, Perth Amboy's own, I might add. Commissioner Director Ronnie Rios and his First Lady Mickey are in the house. Charlie Kenny, his colleague, is here. Senator Pat Dignan is here, also a Middlesex County guy. Importantly, is the chair of the Senate Transportation Committee. Pat, always a pleasure. Brothers and sisters in labor, Kevin Duncan and Jerome Johnson were acknowledged earlier, but great to have you guys and your colleagues with us for this historic day. And to everybody here, this is a day that's been in the works, I don't have to tell you, for a long time. It has been 30 years since the last time major improvements were made here. And I know many of the folks here are anxious to get to work to make this station more accessible and more welcoming for commuters for the next 30 years and beyond. This station came in, as Hellman said, came into service roughly 95 years ago. But that does not mean that we will ignore its history or its architectural significance within this community. After all, we're looking at a structure listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Right here is where we can prove that in New Jersey, we will proudly look to the future while never forgetting the past. With the addition of 2 new high-level platforms, as well as 4 new elevators and additional ramps and walkways, we will ensure that the Perth Amboy Station is fully compliant with the Federal Americans with Disabilities Act. And with updated restrooms, upgraded security measures, and an improved pedestrian bridge, we will ensure that this station meets the needs of all NJ Transit customers. As I said, this approximately $45 million investment in safe and modern rail infrastructure honors this station's history while looking toward the future. And to that, I thank construction managers KS Engineers, Hall Construction Company, and Kevin, to you and the men and women of the building trades who will be right here on site doing this work. Throughout NJ Transit's network, residents are getting back on the trains to get back to work or go to school, including, by the way, the nearly 900 daily riders who rely upon this station before the pandemic. Through our overall efforts, we continue to work hard to ensure they come back to an NJ Transit that is more fully committed to the customer experience. We continue to work hard to win back the confidence of riders. In addition to the improvements that will be made here, Kevin Corbett and his team are following through with key investments in new rail cars and locomotives to make trips more reliable and more comfortable. They've put a clear focus on safe and modern infrastructure to improve system-wide performance, whether it be the installation of the positive train control safety technology or the construction of the new Raritan River Rail Bridge being built just to our south. And of course, we're backing up this promise by protecting NJ Transit's customers from shouldering any fare hike for the 5th straight year. Yeah. I was shamelessly fishing for applause. As you all know here better than I, but I know it as well, Perth Amboy is a city on the rise. It deserves a train station that meets its aspirations to become once again a place where more people don't just want to live, but where they will want to establish businesses, which in turn, by the way, will attract new visitors who will participate in its local economy. This station can be the hub of that future, and we're going to make it the station that will be that hub. Amen. With that, it is my pleasure and honor to turn things over to the President and CEO of NJ Transit, Kevin Corbett.
Thank you, Governor, and Mayor Cava. Thanks so much. Great working with you and your team. Although I've been shout-outs already, but do have to really give a special shout-out to Speaker Coughlin. Been a great supporter for transit, even during the tough early days when we came in with the governor. And certainly Assemblywoman Lopez has been a great supporter for us as well. And I have to also give a shout out to Ron Rios. We're busy all over Middlesex County with our team, so Ron, always good to be with you. And Governor, it is great. Mayor Diaz, we were talking about the history of how this hasn't moved for years, and it's just really great that we're finally getting these projects underway. The overall, as the governor touched on, the overall result of this is going to be a lot more modern and pleasant experience for hundreds of customers who depend on the station every day. And I think, as the governor touched on, really a very significant part is that aside from this being a major overhaul and upgrade of the actual station, it really is the focus on being fully accessibility for everyone under the Americans with Disabilities Act to provide that enhanced options for mobility for people with disabilities. And I would point out that this is something that worked with the governor that he directed us to come up with. We didn't have a strategic plan, and we've come up with a 10-year strategic plan that we rolled out. And improving accessibility throughout the system is one of the key initiatives in that 10-year strat plan called NJT 2030, and it's one of the five, really ties in one of the five overarching goals in the plan, which is powering a stronger and fairer New Jersey for all commuters. The station building you see here today will be completely renovated and expanded, including the amenities the governor touched on, the high-level platforms, new elevators, new bathrooms, and other things to preserve and enhance the historic and distinctive design. But I would point out, for anybody who commutes along the coastline, this is just one of many large-scale, region-changing projects now underway. The governor touched on the Raritan River Bridge that many of you see if you're commuting just to the south. That's a $600 million project, one of the larger projects in New Jersey Transit's history. And that's the first phase you see is pretty much more than halfway complete, the approaches. And the second phase, the lift span, was put out to bid 4 months ago, and we look to be awarding that shortly so we can complete the lift span for the bridge. But if you keep going up the coast as far as that experience, one of the other big projects you'll notice coming up the coastline is when you tie into Northeast Corridor is Portal North Bridge. That the governor started as soon as he came in, stepped up, got the extra $300 million, put it down so that we could move ahead and secure the federal funding. And that is the largest $1.6 billion contract. Overall total project cost around $2 billion. That is the largest contract, single largest project in New Jersey Transit's history. And that's certainly for those of us who have been stuck many times waiting for the old Portal Bridge to open and shut, and people out there with hammers to actually get to get it shut again. That will be in about 5 years. That will be a distant memory. So all these things add up, and are leading really to working very closely with our colleagues at the Gateway Development Commission, Amtrak, the Port Authority, to advance the final linchpin, the Hudson Tunnel project, which is really a key, the last key element that we're working on for along the coastline in going into New York. So all these things are now underway. These things that 4 years ago were just totally dead in the water. And I think, as the governor touched on, with the new rail cars that we've ordered and locomotives, the overall customer experience that we've improved also with the app and our investment in technology really should be a significant improved service for our customers traveling along the coastline, and particularly here in Perth Amboy. So in closing, Governor, I want to thank you again for all the continued support, leadership you've provided over the last 4+ years. And we wouldn't have been able to make all these improvements without that and support. And I'd point out that's even despite going through this thing called a pandemic the last few years. I mean, it's amazing what the progress we've been able to make. So, Governor, as you, I borrow your line and frequently quote, we're not spiking the football by any means, but and there's a lot more work to be done. But We certainly have come a long way from 2018. It's great here today. And Senator Diamond, I'd like to give you a shout out. Thank, great supporter in the Senate. Looking back where we've come and where we've still got to go, it couldn't be a more exciting day to be here. With that, thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. As Kevin points out, there's a lot going on, and that's usually a good sign, and it is in this case. This is a pretty big day in New Jersey. This groundbreaking that we're going to participate in a couple of minutes is a big deal. I don't need to tell anyone here in Perth Amboy this has been a long time coming, and this is going to be a game changer. It's also a big day, and this is by way of introducing the speaker. The speaker and I were just up in Elizabeth. This is the first day of legal adult use cannabis sale recreationally. We were up at a medical dispensary, and I'm surprised the line didn't extend down here to Perth Amboy. There are a lot of people, I think Craig would agree with me. And importantly, two things that I know the speaker and I feel passionately about. Number one, the medical customers' supply had to be protected, must be protected. So notwithstanding those long lines, that is assured. And that's probably a little bit of the reason why it took us a little bit longer to get these things open. And secondly, I got there, and I know the speaker got there because of social justice. I know it's going to create jobs. I know it's going to be a new industry. I know it's going to create revenue for the state, all of which is great. But importantly, this is a huge step toward undoing the damage from the war on drugs. And it's a huge step forward on equity, and that's what today is really all about. That's a long-winded way of saying we wouldn't be here without the speaker. And so for both of these events and for so many other initiatives, this guy is as good as it gets. Please help me welcome the Speaker of the General Assembly, Craig Coughlin. Thank God you kept your tie on.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Governor. Thanks for being in the 19th Legislative District. To President Corbett and the Governor, welcome. It's great to have you here. You can come anytime you want to bring tens of millions of dollars to do projects in the 19th District or in Middlesex, for that matter. It's a deal, but thank you for being here. And thank you for this. The governor's so right. I mean, this is a really remarkable day for New Jersey. The amount of work and energy and hard thinking and planning that went into getting a cannabis bill in place that will stand up a new industry, bring thousands of jobs, millions of dollars in revenue that will be appropriately used to address some of the ills of the past is a really big deal. And of course, right here at home, this is a really big deal as well. I mean, this is a project that has been long overdue, and thanks to the leadership of the governor and Kevin, we're happy to have it. But it doesn't happen without the support of my colleagues like Chairman Dignan, who has been a staunch supporter from the very outset of making sure this happens. And of course, the woman you'll hear from in just a couple of minutes, Yvonne Lopez, who is also as good as it gets when it comes to legislators. But, let's hear it for her. And we can't forget our dear friend, Senator Vitale, who can't be here today with us, but sends his best regards to everyone and shares the enthusiasm that we all have for this project as we restore another piece of the incredible history of the city of Perth Amboy. I think it bears repeating, and I tell everybody what an incredible place, what an incredibly historic place Perth Amboy is, right? The last Royal Colonial Governor's Mansion, the oldest continuous operating municipal building in the country, the New Jersey version, or New Jersey's replica of the Liberty Bell, the ferry system that took Franklin and Jefferson and Adams over to negotiate peace with the British in Staten Island. By the way, talk about pressure. The British had two pardons. If they had negotiated a peace, they were going to hang Adams. So I guess maybe he didn't want to get a deal done. but all of that history comes together in Perth Amboy, and so now, too, we'll have a train station that's fitting of that history, recognizes its past and the nearly 100 years that it has served the people of New Jersey, and at a great time as we move forward. as the governor alluded to, we're coming out of this pandemic, and we're coming out of it strong. Our unemployment rate is dropping precipitously. People are going back to work, and there's a sense of normalcy that's in the air. And now having a train station that will let people to get back without driving, without taking their cars, and without working from home as necessary. This is a real opportunity, and so thank you all who are involved in doing this and putting this together, the Department of Transportation, the legislative leadership, and of course the governor, who is committed to making sure that things like this happen. Because this is good for Perth Amboy. It's also good for all of New Jersey as we continue to improve our rail service. I know you'll hear from him in a couple of minutes. My friend Ron Rios, the Commissioner Director, we probably should come up with a new title for that. We really should. Commissioner Director Ron is a railroad guy and loves it. And so for everybody here involved, it is a really big day and a historic movement forward. And so happy that our friends from Labor, Jerome, my friend Kevin Duncan, whom I've known for a long time now, are going to be able to work on this project. So we know that it's going to bring that kind of quality, the kind of good jobs that we all count on in the state of New Jersey. So it's going to be something that we can all be proud of. It's going to be something that we all can celebrate. It'll build on the incredible work that's going on here in this incredibly vibrant city. You know, you come to Perth Amboy on a Saturday afternoon and walk down Smith Street and see the kind of economic activity that's going on. And as I've been here, now I've been here for a number of groundbreakings and ribbon cuttings as we move forward. So Mayor Caba, congratulations on another process, another feather in your cap as we get this building open. And of course, it's nice to see my old friend. She's not old. Our relationship is old. Mayor Diaz. Almost made a big mistake there. Could we go back and edit that just for the record? But it's great to be here. It's great to have a great project like this. And thanks everybody for coming out to share in the excitement and the enthusiasm as we get ready for another big step in moving Perth Amboy forward. Thanks everybody for being here. Appreciate it.
Amen to all. Interesting statistic, and Kevin will correct me if I'm wrong. First of all, Craig, thank you for everything, including your great remarks. Weekday rail bus percentage relative to pre-pandemic ridership, 55 for rail, 70 for bus. Kevin reminds me, weekends, 80 to 90%. So it tells you, which is great, but it tells you habits have changed. They still have not snapped back, and that tells you there's a lot of, on the one hand, a lot still work from home if you can do it. Not everybody can do it. But everyone's out there going to ball games, going to concerts, going to dinner, going to parties. So it's an interesting dichotomy right now that these guys are managing. It's not easy to do. I mentioned that she is Perth Amboy's own. She is a colleague of the speakers in the 19th Legislative District, an outstanding leader. I had the great honor of meeting her many years ago when it was cold, dark, and lonely for me, and she was gracious enough to sit with me, and we got to know each other, and she's an outstanding leader. Please help me welcome Perth Amboy's own Assemblywoman Yvonne Lopez.
Thank you so much.
Bless you.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's such a pleasure to be here as we celebrate yet another win for the great city of Perth Amboy and its residents and the much-needed and awaited renovations to the Perth Amboy train station. For years, the city has been advocating for an investment in the train station, and thanks to our combined diligence and advocacy, the moment has finally arrived. Our historic train station serves as a major hub for our community, and with hundreds of passengers using the station every day, the planned renovations will be immensely beneficial to commuters and residents alike. Improvements will allow the station to be more accessible and efficient and represent the progress the city is continuously achieving year over year. As a city of immense historical significance, I also appreciate that these renovations will work to maintain the station's historical design while bringing its operations into the future. I would like to thank Governor Murphy for being here today. Thank you, Governor, so very much. New Jersey Transit President and CEO Kevin Corbett, Mayor Helman Caba, and all the individuals that made our train station a priority for this investment. I also do want to take a moment to acknowledge our former mayor, Mayor Wilda Diaz, for all the work that you put into this train station during the tenure of your mayorship. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well said, as always, and thank you for everything you do. Last but not least, batting cleanup. When people ask me, and I suspect the Speaker would be in violent agreement, as you think about reimagining Trenton, the state government, getting a more solid fiscal footing, a better credit rating, addressing inequities, investing in higher education, creating jobs, doing the sort of stuff we're doing here today, invariably the answer is look at what Middlesex County's doing, because this county is one of those counties, and there aren't a lot of them in America, that just runs like a Swiss watch, and it begins at the top. I mentioned Charlie Kenny is here, a terrific commissioner, but the commissioner, the commissioner director himself is here. Please help me welcome the great leader, Ronnie Rios.
Thank you, Governor. And I remember the last time I was at this train station, I was 10 years old, 12 years old, with my mom, and this train was the Central Railroad of New Jersey at the time, and we would go from Perth Amboy to Port Reading, because my mom and dad didn't drive. So it was a great time where we would always come to Perth Amboy, and a treat to come to Perth Amboy shopping down Smith Street and State Street. Good morning, and thank you all for having me. I'm happy to be here on this momentous occasion as construction begins on these crucial renovations. Since 1927, this station has served as a vital public transit hub for people coming to and leaving from the city of Perth Amboy. It has provided a link to points outside the city, outside Middlesex County, and outside the state of New Jersey. But for far too long, it was inaccessible to people with mobility issues and other challenges. The critical upgrades that will happen here will ensure this historic station is accessible to all and is ready to meet the demands of the 21st century. Of course, a project of this magnitude does not reach this stage without the hard work and dedication of a number of people and a willingness by those people to work together to achieve a common goal. So, while today's groundbreaking symbolizes the work that is about to begin, it also represents the work that has already taken place just to get us here today. My colleagues and I, and the Board of County Commissioners, and my colleague that's here with me today, Charlie Kenny, commend Mayor Caba, Governor Murphy, the New Jersey DOT, and New Jersey Transit for their efforts moving this project forward. Speaker Coughlin, Kevin Corbett, there's so many people that are involved. It's not, I've always said, it's teamwork, it's not me, it's we. It's all of us working together, and we can accomplish so many great things. Your individual and a collective commitment to making these renovations a reality has never wavered and has brought us here today. I also want to say a sincere thanks to Speaker, again, Coughlin, Assemblywoman Lopez, and the entire 19th Legislative District team for this their advocacy for this project. Your willingness to work hard on behalf of your constituents is always evident and always appreciated. The hard work and collaboration it took to get this project off the ground is common here in Middlesex County, where we have built a strong partnership with the state on transportation projects. The North Brunswick train station project, for example, is chugging along, and progress always continues on Data City in New Brunswick. Both of these projects will help transform transportation and around Middlesex County. The county is committed to providing and maintaining safe, secure, accessible public transportation solutions for our residents for today and for years to come. We are fortunate to have partners at every level, from municipalities like Perth Amboy to the state of New Jersey, and even at the federal level, who are equally committed to that goal and willing to invest in critical infrastructure just like this. These renovations will bring us another step closer toward accomplishing that goal. Once complete, the renovated Perth Amboy train station will benefit not only the people and businesses of the city of Perth Amboy, but everyone in the greater Middlesex County region. So again, on behalf of my colleagues on the Board of County Commissioners and myself, I offer my congratulations and thanks to everyone involved in bringing this project closer to fruition. Thank you.
Craig's heard me say this once already today. As they say in Hollywood, it's a wrap. I want to thank Mayor Cava, Hellman, to you, to members of council, to Team Perth Amboy. Wilda, it's great to see you again. Speaker, God bless you, and thank you for everything. Yvonne, likewise. Ron, to you and Charlie and the team. To our brothers in labor, led by Kevin on the one hand, Jerome on the other, Kevin Corbett and Team NJ Transit. And I want to thank you all for your patience. Pat, always a pleasure. Thank you for being here. At times today, and you've put up with this, I've felt a little bit like Kyrie Irving up at the Boston Garden. But as I do not wish to be fined, I will not return the favor as such. For those of you paying attention at home. With that, I think we're going to go over and break some ground. Does that sound good? Thank you all.
You're good. Dad? What's going on here? I don't know. Oh my God. Okay. Why? That's what I want to know. Get down, please. Down, please. Down, please. Down, please. Down, all the way, please. Excuse me. Please get down.
There you go. Oh. Yep. Thank you.
Down, no.
Greg,
Down.
Is that all right, Greg? Yes.
Okay, ready we are.
You smile first, and then we'll digit the count of three. Is that all right? Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
One more. 1, 2, 3. Style. Go. Thank you. One shot, that's it.